But
Why? Oh, I gotta mute you. I'm over here.
An alleyway?
well, yeah, but if you look, this has a thing that kind of connects over here, and I was thinking that we could possibly like put little like we hide people in here, like one of us or etc. Funky maneuvers, but they could also use it too to easily
Midge.
cross both.
I need you to take. I need you to do then if you're going to do medical treatment to try and help Tops a little bit.
Yep.
Then you're going to need to roll the appropriate checks for this.
So a Medicaid check.
Yes, and it was also a seemingly clean. It's a pretty cleanly environment. This does not seem to have other than the blown off doors, like in the southern area that got that collapsed in on itself. This top section seems to have been pretty well preserved. So it is an area that you think you can work in pretty.
Okay,
easily.
so I'm gonna take Tops. I'm gonna get my my comrade here to just assist me in moving him onto this table over in the back. Lay him down so I can get a proper look at him. Now, you say it's a shotgun, right?
Yes.
Okay, right or left shoulder?
I don't know. Left.
Okay, cool. Therefore, is what I'm gonna do. Well, I'm gonna first in my Medicaid roll, but I'm gonna search the wound, see if there's actually any bits still in it, some like shells still in
Any
there.
shot in there still?
Yeah, still some shot. Make sure it's cleaned out before I strap it up, and also I'm gonna give him some pain medication. So
Okay.
all right, let's do my Medicaid roll. Any modifiers?
Because you were so detailed, you can do a +10 on this.
So I'm getting a +30 on this. If I fail, I'm...
So what I'm thinking here,
Fail.
guys,
It's your okay. You're able to you get the buckshot out of his shoulder. There was still some bits and pieces left there.
That's a fucking medic.
I'm a surgeon, not a medic.
now.
Doctor, please.
Calm down, Bones.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, we got a badass over here.
Clean out. The wound is cleaned out very thoroughly, and you start wrapping it. And he's feeling pretty good. He leans back on the table, and he's just kind of resting there for a bit. So for the first day, he's going to gain, no matter what his actual gain of health will be, he will also gain an extra 2 HP.
Okay, and then I'm gonna leave Frau there to just keep an eye on him while because we're so soon after me removing pellets and stuff. Just keeping an eye on him while I go look at everyone else's little wounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone else, you don't think you could do too much other than just cleaning and fixing up their wounds?
Is that Higgs
with proper medical care? Yeah, and Higgs, he took a shoulder shot, but it's a las through and through.
Okay,
Can't really do nothing for it. And it seemed to have been patched up pretty nicely. In fact, you think it might have been an actual medic that patched him up.
Okay.
Oh, he must have died.
Yeah.
Sad day. I like to think that during those 2 days between this mission and then, Midge spent the whole time in a chop shop, like learning from their surgeon.
That's what I'm thinking of. He learned surgery stuff.
Well, it's what I look at it as, because I was already not a trained medic. I was already better. I was kind of going for the idea that I'd already picked up on a lot of surgeon, and they just finished my training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so while he was doing that, what are you guys thinking for your setup here? Because I have things to modify the map with to tell you guys where you're putting up defenses.
Okay. So, well, Bob, what is your suggestion here? I see you drawing on the map.
How big of that demolition charge? How big of a boom does that make?
It should be enough to kill a light vehicle. So that's what I'm thinking of using it for. We can.
How big a crater is it? Like,
what are you gonna be that? You gonna be that guy in Saving Private Ryan who lights a fuse and runs up to the tire, then blows up?
It's not what I had in mind at all. Actually,
I'm thinking of setting it up like booby trap that thing.
Are you thinking like setting up like a remote det?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
He's trying to excavate with it.
That's what I was thinking. I don't think
Oh.
excavating's gonna do shit.
Like
That's
Okay,
why Bob
well,
asked.
I'm trying to get a blast. I'm trying to figure out what the blast on that is.
like
Give me
I
a second.
like one of the ideas I'm thinking of is just area denial, being able to pull a vehicle down a street. So if I want to put a hole where the circle with the D is at, would that be able to block movement of a vehicle down that way?
What if would it be possible to blow out one of these buildings so it collapses across the street to block it with rubble?
It's
They're not tall enough for
yeah,
that.
they're not.
No.
It needs to be at least.
We got a lot of
Maybe
tables and a
could do it.
bar
3
and
stories tall to make
things.
it fall down
Okay,
like that.
from what I can see here, demo charge. Demo charge for blowing open doors, breaching bulkheads, destroying infrastructure. It's 1 kilogram of explosives. Let's see here. Does 3d10 of explosive damage plus 2 damage for every kilogram used. Blast radius is 5 meters for each kilogram used. So it's a 5-meter ring around a
Wouldn't
blast
be-
point.
Did you say it had 10
Is it
kilograms?
5-meter radius or diameter?
It says
Because that's a big difference.
radius.
Okay, so that would be big enough to block out a section big enough for the Chimera
Well, how deep?
if you
does
wanted
it
to
go?
excavate.
How deep does that?
You're not sure. You're not sure what this is built on top of. It could be hard clay, or it could be,
Asphalt. Well,
or there could be a sewer underneath there. You're not
Okay,
sure.
so here's what I'm thinking. So
Which
where
there
I've got
probably is, considering there's a manhole.
So I here's how I would set this up. I would in the south end there, I would have the first fire arc or fire base would be right where the building is collapsed right here. You can see it, Ben, from where you're standing.
Yeah, I can see it.
Well, you mean right here?
Let me.
ping in it.
Where's my ping tool?
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
I gotta change my color so it's easy to see.
So it's covering inside the building and it's covering part of the street. And then you've got a second position to the south, which is then also covering the street behind that position. Up in the north, blow a hole in the street so that now you're making it difficult for the vehicle to get down there, as well as infantry to get down there. We can also pile some sandbags up on our side of the hole to make it even more difficult, kind of like a moat almost.
So what you're saying is we use the demo charge to blast a crater, then set up on the rim of the crater on the exterior rim so that they would be down in a little dip in front of us.
If
Like
they
that.
wanted to approach the position, they would have to go through this thing first.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea.
I was really kind of thinking more of it so that the vehicles have to come down like this street down here in the south.
And then
So
you can have
we
me
know-
set up with crack missiles.
We know where they're. Yeah, we know exactly where they're going to be coming from. Now there are all these buildings up in the north here and little alleyways, and this is where I'd want to set a bunch of our conversion kits up here to area deny that even
exactly what I was
further.
thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I don't
this
want
whole
I don't
alleyway-
want any personnel out there. I just want to mine the fuck out of this place so that we take out as many vehicles or people we can before we actually open up on them.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I didn't tell you guys this. The anti-personnel mines can cover a total number. One crate will cover a total of 36 squares in
Okay.
whatever orientation, but they'll cover 36 squares. And the anti-tank mines will cover. Actually, where I got that written down here. Will cover 15.
We got two
Now
sets
when
of
you say that, do they have to, like, are we gonna, when you go to lay them out, do you lay them out in a string, in a shape, or can you just go one here, one here, one here,
They
one
have
here,
to be
one here?
contiguous. They have to be
Continuous. That's what I figured.
Okay.
So,
I feel like this alleyway would be one fucking death trap for any of the fragmentation like tripwire setup.
Oh yeah, and the fragmentation tripwires, those can be spanned across a minimum of 1 meter to a maximum of 5 meters.
Yeah, no, we could turn this place
is
into
the length of the.
Where are you looking so far?
that alleyways I showed y'all. That because if you think about it,
Oh, in
we
the
have
middle.
both of these streets covered. They're gonna have to take the south buildings and north buildings and this middle way to cover, like, to get to travel without getting shot at by our Chimera or our gun emplacements, right? So they're going to have to go through this alleyway or through the northern buildings and the southern buildings.
Well, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves again, and what we need to do is start from the top and work our way down with defenses. Like, okay, figure out where we're going to set up our fixed positions, and then work out from there.
Well,
so set up our line, set up our fields of fire, and then figure out what we're going to do after that.
Well, Ben, have you actually gone through these northern buildings or southern buildings? There's only a few of them actually connect to each other, where in the middle, everything is connected. Like, you can travel to every building and everything in the middle without actually getting in the streets, where in the north and south, you're going to actually have to go through the street to go to the next piece of cover.
Yes, I saw them all, but we don't have fields of... We can't shoot anybody moving over there anyways.
Well, I'm talking about just setting up our actual anti-personnel shit.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying, why don't we set up our fixed positions first and get our fields of fire set, then work on mines and tripwires.
Then you'll know where to put everything at.
Then we can figure out what's covered and what's not.
I still more like what Bob's put for the gun placements.
Go ahead, Midge.
In the southern buildings and a few of the middle buildings, I've noticed there's a lot of furniture and things. Can we improvise extra barricades and things out of that?
You think you might be able to?
Because there's an entire bar there going on.
There's a bar,
cafe or
there's
whatever.
2 bars actually.
So there's a lot of extra wooden things that we could actually start. We could actually properly block off areas and make ourselves corridors that people can run into. Don't forget. So, like, if you wanted to make sure that they're coming directly towards a gun, we can do that by placing things in the way that people, sort of, what is it? It's people are always going to take the easiest route, so you corridor them down the certain ways you want to.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We set up our fixed positions in fields of fire, and then we can figure out what to block off and where to put mines to funnel them into killing zones. But we need to set up the fixed positions before we do that. Well, right now we're just scattershotting they're running around the map doing everybody's own thing, and what we need to do is start from the back and get our fields of fire set up, and then work our way forwards and figure out what we can do from there.
What's going up here in the top left-hand corner of the map?
Top left-hand, that's...
Is that flat, or is that buildings?
Those buildings, their interiors have fallen in on themselves.
Oh, okay, so they're just collapsed rubble.
They're just blockers. They're just like these big, like, honking pieces of concrete.
Oh, and Roach.
So,
is there any elevation on there at all, or
not that you can get to? Like, you're not exactly sure that'd be safe to get up onto.
Okay. Roach.
I think we could assume that they're piles of rubble, and that any building roof would be higher than the pile of rubble.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good assumption.
Here in the alleyway area, this tile texture, the brown one. No, I'm just gonna get this to confirm. Is that like a type of stone, or is that dirt?
It's dirt.
Good. So that's where we can build foxholes or death traps, like our knife death trap that we wanted to do. On a side note.
Yeah, you have 24.
Punji sticks.
Yeah.
Everyone.
All right, so I like Bob's idea of detonating the demo charge to create a crater and then setting up a fixed emplacement on the side of it there. I don't know how I feel about its current placement, considering there's a window on the building looking out directly, like,
behind
flanking the line of... I would say move it back.
Back? No, I'd say move it, like, forwards.
No,
we're talking about like
that
where we have
exacerbates the problem if you move it forwards.
Why?
Because let's say there's a window. Hang on, there's a window right here. There's a window right here. Hang on, there's a window right there. It's not pinging, but there's 2 windows in that building, and then there's a area right here where people could walk through.
Yeah, but
if we set
into that building first.
Yes, and if they do, I mean, what's the harm in moving it back 10 meters to cover our bases?
It just takes it very close to our our outpost position.
What's wrong with that, though? We're defending the area. We don't need to move it. We need to lure them into a trap. And if our sandbags are like right there, they can basically fire lengthwise enfilade fire down if they get into either of those buildings, which is not going to be difficult to do. If we move it so that the sandbags are like,
Whoa.
sorry, my stuff's getting in the way. I like get rid of that. If we move it so the sandbags are back flush with the buildings, then even if they get to those windows, we're still in cover.
Sandbags is fine, but the actual hole we're putting a demolition charge in.
That needs to be directly in front of the sandbags,
I was
right?
thinking it should be right here, somewhere right here in the middle of the street here, so that way they can't progress that far. I mean, we don't have to use it as defensive. We were just using it to funnel a vehicle down a specific route right now, Ben. That's the main goal of this. This whole...
like, you don't want it too close to us, before otherwise they'll be able to get a, say, tank with a las cannon right next to us. We want that tank to be as far away as possible, unable to move down the street, or only move down one street. So we've got
I'm confused then. Is a shallow hole going to trap a tank and prevent it from just driving forward?
As far as you go right now, you don't know if it's going to be shallow, or if it's just going to blow into a sewer system, or if it's going to be.
I thought the whole idea was to blast a crater and then set up on the rim of it so that there's a moat in front of us. If we set it out so far that they can then get into the hole and use it as submerged cover, that defeats the purpose. We just created cover for them instead of a trap.
Well, they can have cover if they like. We're defending. We're not assaulting. The original idea that I was having was to just force vehicles down one path or another.
We're trying to funnel certain things to certain directions.
That was
here.
the idea. The stacking the sandbags up on our side of it was just kind of an afterthought. The primary idea would be to make sure that vehicle can't come down one route, so that we know exactly where to throw our.
I'm not sure that a hole that we don't even know if it's going to get through the asphalt or create a 1 foot deep hole or a 10-foot deep hole is going to.
I would say let's find out. Let's just fucking do it.
Can I use my intelligence to try and calculate how much the explosions can do? We've got what 1 kilogram of explosives, and surely we can do the math and try and work out what it's just a question of what it's going to blow into or not.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Midgeman, doctor, demolitions expert, sniper.
Well, you do that.
Do your
Gentleman extraordinaire.
best.
So
We'll do an
Roach,
intelligence check here.
Do your intelligence check -5.
Oh shit, -5.
He didn't figure anything
I
out.
think it'll work great.
Roach, I accidentally deleted my token somehow when I deleted my drawings on the north end. Side note.
Just your normal token.
Just my token, my normal token. Yeah.
How much total sandbag coverage do we have available to us?
Enough to set up the Chimera with it and
have plenty more. We have an entire
Yeah.
we have an entire pallet full of empty sacks. I would imagine there'd be thousands.
We got clay and dirt on the north. I got dirt in the middle and I guess clay.
I'm gonna say we set the charge right there.
That looks good to me. I like that. Well, not right there. No, I was looking at
because
that
is.
That's
actually no, that's too close. 1 meter further out. Hang on.
I'm thinking right about here.
It's too the defeat. I don't.
Okay, look.
Well, Ben, think about it like this, because I want you guys to succeed as much as you guys want to succeed. Contrary to what you think. So,
the shotgun says otherwise.
Think about he had that
shotgun
before.
of doom.
Okay. Think about it like this, Ben. If they get cover, like for their infantry, are you really going to have a huge amount of are you going to have a big problem if they get that cover? If it also negates that path for vehicles, potentially.
Well, what I'm saying is that if we do it right here, that covers pointless because we could throw a grenade into the hole.
Okay.
And we would basically be in Overwatch right over them because we would be automatically above them elevation-wise, giving us a bonus shooting down at them.
Yes.
If it's further out, it would give them cover, but we wouldn't have that bonus.
Ben, there's a difference. There's a difference in a tank being there and a tank being there.
Yeah. Do imagine if that crater was made,
mm-hmm.
and now that vehicle, whatever it may be, instead of stopping where the blue marker is at.
We're in an urban environment. The closer we are to the armored vehicle, the better.
Well, do remember, this is Imperial equipment that you're talking about here. Or
Not at all.
well, this is 40K equipment. Remember?
Yes, SnowFox. In an urban environment, if you're close, you could get out of its way easily, or you could hit
What
it
if
with the
this has a
cracker name.
flamer? What if it has a flamer bin? What are you gonna do with it? We're gonna burn to death.
If it has a flamer, it doesn't matter if it's over there; it'll still hit us. It's got a 30-meter range.
Well, we could put it 30 meters out. Look. Let's see. Boom. All the way out to here. We could have it safe from flames. Now, and then we will have cover from getting shot at by a machine gun and or possible light explosive rounds.
I will say
all I'm saying is I think putting it out there is giving them undue cover. Putting it close is giving us a bonus.
Ben, we're defending. They have to leave that eventually if they want to succeed. They're gonna have to leave it.
It's all based on rolls. We have terrible rolls.
True, but let me see this, Ben. Ben, all we have to do to avoid getting shot at by those guys is just move up here or move back here, and then
or just get below or just
below the
we've
sandbag.
set up a sandbag wall. Why would we move out of that?
I'm not really keen on the idea of actually setting up a. I'd really rather have. That's why I kind of set up if you look at the positions in the south, I set those up so we have defilade. From street fire, at least mostly defilade. So someone has to come into our vision first. If we're just down a street, there's nothing to stop. I think somebody from.
I think I just have a complete opposite defensive strategy as everybody else. Because what I'm thinking is set up lines of fire down the street because they're coming at us. And then we could shoot them when they're open.
Yeah, but you got to think about
or are we playing
ambush 101? You want them to be in the open while you shoot at them.
Well, that's what I just said. They would be in the open, and we would be in cover.
We'd be in the open as well, though, because it's definitely.
Yeah.
But if we set up sandbags, we would be in cover.
We're talking like this, Ben.
You've got to do it at angles.
So that way we have the street covered at a certain point here, but we're not completely exposed to something that's way down there. You never know. A sniper could be way to crap down there and just pop us.
Put it in this way, Ben. When you're playing Red Orchestra 2,
yeah,
are you when you have a machine gun? Are you in the middle of the street, on top of a sandbag? Or are you like let's say there's sandbags straddling the like a street? Are you in the middle of those sandbags, or are you towards the corner? Near the edge of the sandbags.
Well, what I'm seeing right here setting up is that we'd have fields of fire going down like there, basically. And I'm saying we have fields of fire going like there.
So,
yeah, you could set up sandbags on the corners, but covering the whole street, rather than let them get to point blank range.
Oh, this is
considering
right
we're ranged units other than Bob.
I know.
I don't know. You see how far I travel in a charge?
He has instant
I'm a ranged weapon.
teleportation.
See how much he jumped last session? He threw his back out.
I'm a ranged weapon.
Well, SlyFox, you haven't said a damn word about this. What do you think?
Neither is Bob. Like for a commander, it's been pretty quiet.
Well, he drew his stuff that he was thinking already. So
Go ahead, Sly. What is your thoughts?
no comment.
I don't get paid enough to think. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that's
Well, I think the basic problem is that there's completely different aspects of defense here. I'm saying that we hit them as soon as we see them, and the rest of you guys, and it seems like you guys are saying we just sit there and wait for them to get to point blank range and ambush them.
I say we funnel them into this fucking death traps of anti-personnel shit.
The problem is that we all suspect they're gonna be coming down.
If your northern idea fails, and then you just assume that it's not going to that it's blocked and no one's going to be able to get through, and you set up all your defenses on the south, and we don't know what happens, and someone comes along the north side, then all we've done is given them a free flank.
However, I probably wouldn't blow up
Well,
the north side because I'd put the thing on the south side, the hole, and funnel them north because we've got this huge opening here and a wall there. So they're not going to see us until they get in the crack range, like Ben was suggesting that we throw into the hole and things. So
I have to go to the bathroom, so you guys keep talking about this. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
We say, like, set up the missile. So, like, SnowFox, you'd be here with the missile launcher. So if a tank ends up getting to here, you can just rail it right then.
Yeah.
Because this room has a big open side, but it's protected from the rest of the streets.
Real quick,
So
but
we'd
I
find-
agreed. Oh, yeah, Mitch.
So we wouldn't want tanks coming down the south road because there is less ambush room for us to be able to hit them. Ben has been replaced by a cat.
Cat is now Ben. Do you all agree with Ben's idea? I agree with this one thing. Entrenching the Chimera at one of these intersections here, so it could just fucking waylay to whatever comes down there.
You want to blow up the south instead of the north, you said, Midge?
Yeah.
Where on the road would you want to do that?
Sort of in line where we want in the like.
Well, that was the problem. We didn't know where we wanted. That was the whole argument.
I was gonna suggest. Hold on. So if we blew it here, and then we've got this area here as an ambush point for any vehicles that would get close, and then we could have Chimera down this one, and then because there wouldn't be enemy vehicles or less enemy vehicles on the south side, we have because we've got one tripod stubber and then we've got SlyFox with his stubber. We have those set up at optimum angles on the south to ambush infantry advances. There's my idea.
I think I'd rather just set the Chimera up where Ben is standing, actually.
Ben?
In the middle
dead center?
Uh-huh.
So if they were to...
the turret articulates, so it can cover pretty much any direction you want.
Yeah, fair enough.
But not have it in direct line of fire of a potentially heavier enemy vehicle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like if Lehman Russ came fucking rolling down the street, it's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, who would do that?
I think I just deleted someone.
Or an Italian L6, depending on what you want it to look like, I suppose.
Did you delete someone, Midge?
I think I deleted someone. I think I deleted the corporal.
Yep, you did.
Don't need him. Your cat came along and
Which
replaced you,
sucks
Ben.
because that was his only token.
Is there an undo button?
Corporal Hicks,
Yeah, I got it.
Higgs isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, don't just like blanket select things because you have control of these NPC tokens.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was trying to get rid of my.
That's why I got really careful with my selections there after I deleted myself earlier.
Now you can delete that box, Mitch. Just don't delete Hicks.
Don't delete Callahan. But...
So that's what you want to do, Bob. As the sergeant, you have you do have technically final say in this.
I can't actually grab that anymore.
What should we call it? I was just scouting around the middle area.
I assume this is rubble that can be used as cover.
Marginal cover, yes.
Okay, so
The bigger stuff will be better, obviously, like the bigger chunks.
So
you could reinforce it with sandbags.
Yeah,
I think that's
we'll do that.
I honestly believe I don't think any troops would be coming down the roads. I think they would all be funneling through the middle buildings right here.
Exactly what we're doing. If we put machine gun fire of any kind down some of these roads, they're going to funnel either north, south, or through the middle. Probably the middle the most.
But we don't know that if they can't see us.
How many grenade conversion kits do we have?
I think we had a crate.
We have a lot of anti-personnel mines to throw in there. There's a lot of alleyways in the middle buildings beyond this huge structure.
We have one crate of grenade conversion kit, Bob.
We've also got barbed wire now, remember?
Yeah, but how many squares does that cover if I wanted to throw just conversion grenades everywhere, tripwire grenades everywhere?
The conversion kits will convert another crate of grenades, so 6. You can have 6 tripwire grenades, and like I said, minimum of 1 square coverage, maximum of 4 square.
Oh,
and we're just in luck, guys. We have 2,
and that's in a line like that. That represents the tripwire that will trigger it.
We have that box of grenades, guys, in the Chimera from when I did my that ration thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I need you to figure out what you're going to do, and then figure out what you want to prioritize first. This will take time to build.
It will.
So this is going to be. I need AP mines here. SnowFox.
AP? Oh, anti-personnel. Yeah. Okay.
Where are you sitting?
What I was also thinking, Bob, since this is an area that we can actually dig shit in, where do you think we should dig our a booby trap?
Right.
the pungy
Punji
pit.
sticks.
I'm thinking down.
I just want to say, putting it in front of a door is the most evil thing you could do, because the natural reaction is to go through a door.
It's just
put it in front of a door or something. That's fine. I don't really.
You think your Imperial Guard infantryman uplifting primer covers a section of improvised booby traps. You think you could get 2 squares of Punji Death out of that box?
So Bob, I have to ask real quick. Where's our line of where we draw our no man's land, where we know to not go past this point area? So that way
that's gonna be where the round table is at. That's the Alamo.
Okay. Round table as in
a building far left middle.
Okay.
Where everyone else is carousing still.
So we're staying all the way back here. We're not going to be inside this middle building here. This one.
He's asking where you guys are not going to be deployed at.
Yeah.
Some of us are gonna be starting in that building, but we're not gonna move any further forward than that.
I was thinking maybe we set that our bungee death right there. They're like, okay, they're in this building. We're gonna go in. We're gonna get them. And then just
that's kind of the idea.
All right.
If they're stupid enough to come charging, I mean, that's why I've got one of the stubbers are gonna be set up. I mean, both the stubbers are gonna be set up in that position right there. One's covering the street, and the other one's covering just like the inside, because that building's huge.
Mm-hmm. So something like that, Bob.
Where am I looking?
Where we were putting.
When I said 2 squares, I meant 2 squares. You could have 2 single squares.
Okay.
So you could have 2 places to put it if you want.
Okay, so coolio. We can have 2 death doors. Okay, so I'm thinking 1 here, Bob.
One
and then maybe do you want to just make one of these?
Put one on the north side.
North side, okay.
There is a back alley to all those north buildings, by the way. There is a 1 square alleyway.
Put one like right here at the top between these 2 buildings.
Okay, let me get my guy over there so I can see it.
Oh god, there is.
Oh, okay. In between or just blocking this whole alley right here?
Block that right where you're standing.
Okay.
Put one right there.
Where a second knife hell goes. There we go.
Punji sticks.
Let's just get a box of 24 knives. Like, what the fuck are we getting 24 knives?
I do, and I got us a lot of cookies. Don't forget our cookies.
I do think we should switch out on normal knives for some of those knives, though, because they're best quality. Therefore, we will get combat
mono
bonuses
as well.
for using.
Yeah. So Bob, back into the alleyways here. I'm thinking in the back here is where we put some of those fragmentation tripwires. A little bit further over here. Maybe
just
even
start blocking that kind of stuff off. I'm just gonna leave it up to you how you want to sort those out.
Creativity.
You said it has to be at least more than 1 meter, right?
There's 6
minimum,
of them.
6 of them. Minimum of 1 meter.
Okay.
Maximum of 4 meters.
Do you want me to just draw a line, Roach?
Draw like a box that's colored, red.
Okay.
For the area that the squares will be affected by. And by the way, they are not, unless you take extra care to hide them, you'll be able to see them. So you got to figure out ways of.
Okay.
You got to take extra time to actually put them in places, and putting them in the middle of they're best next to a wall or in a doorway, etc.
As you can see here, I'm thinking having. Okay, so I was thinking having one right here, on either side is going to be the blast, and then have the wire just kind of trickle past that, past this little alley here. Since we can't put them into 1 square areas,